Hi, I'm Katie, and this is Katie's Bookish Escape. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. Okay, so basically when I'm thinking about a series, I'm thinking I loved it, I hated it, or it was okay. Yay, nay, or okay. So, The Raven Cycle. Overall, for me, was okay. Okay leaning towards yay. So, I rated the first book 4 stars, and then I gave the other 3 books 3 stars. Okay, my problems with the series, let's start with my problems. There were a few actions by some characters that, to me, did not seem fleshed out and or make sense. And I can't really get into details without that being spoiled, and it wasn't all the time, and maybe it was just a big deal about me because it affected one of my favorite characters, but there was like a change of feeling from a certain character, and I didn't feel like the change in their feeling was made clear, and I didn't really understand it. And let me say, in general, I felt a little lost at times. Maybe that's because I did end up listening to quite a bit of it on audiobook, because I got these really cheap copies of it, and they were actually really hard to hold in my hand, and I already put them in my class library, so I don't have them, but the text was so close to the inside. Let me use this example. So the text was so close to the middle that I had to pull it open, and it was really annoying. So that was a problem. But maybe it was because I was following an audiobook and not giving it 100% my full attention. But at times I did feel a little lost and confused. However, I do think there's a little bit of loss and confusion intentional by the author, that you were supposed to feel as the characters are feeling lost and confused. Which is fine, but by the 4th book, I was just like, okay, I want to understand everything now. I want to have the arc complete. I want to get it all. So, I don't mind being confused along the way, but I want it to feel all wrapped and neatly up in a nice little bow. I mean, it doesn't have to be a nice little bow, not a happy ending. I'm not saying that. But I want to have clarity for everything. And then probably my biggest gripe with the series was that after book 1, one of the characters served virtually, in my opinion, no purpose. And the purpose that they had, they could have been easily replaced with something else, or with someone else. So and it's not that I dislike the character, but I just felt they were unnecessary. So whenever I had that character in scenes, I was just like, I want to move on with the plot, and this character wasn't really contributing anything. Okay, so those are my main concerns, as well as pacing. At some times I felt, especially in book 3, and book 3 is rated really high, and I know it's a lot of people's favorites, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, but there were definitely times in book 3 that I felt like it was dragging. I don't feel like anything really even happened in book 3, other than a little bit of relationship development between 2 characters and one small plot within the whole overarching 4-book plot. Okay, so those are the things I didn't like. The pacing had some issues. Confusion with what's happening every once in a while, which could have been user error, I'm not sure. Unclear change of feelings by a character, and one character that I felt just didn't really contribute after book 1, which is probably why book 1 was ranked higher for me. So let's get into why I liked the series. The characters. Okay, so the Raven the first book's called The Raven Boys. So this, there's going to be a group of characters, and we have 4 boys and a girl, and I really liked all of the characters. I didn't really get annoyed by any of them. I really enjoyed them, even one's very different from the rest, and I still really enjoyed them. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's a fan favorite. But I liked all of the characters, and then all of the side characters I found were interesting. There was only, actually, unfortunately, one of the last book's villain and they weren't even really a villain that I thought was weak. Sorry, I'm just not supposed to be talking about, like, the bad anymore. But, almost all the characters I loved. Okay, another thing I liked about this was the relationships. In fact, like, I was shipping lots of couples in this series. Yeah, I don't even think Maggie Stiefvater wrote a courtship that, like, was intended to be liked that I didn't like. Like, I really enjoyed all of them. Even ones that involved, like, side characters who were not that, not as pivotal. I was shipping them all. All of them. Another pro about this story, and probably actually my favorite thing about the Raven Cycle, was the setting. So this takes place in Henrietta, Virginia. I honestly have no idea if Henrietta is, like, a real place. And the narrator on the audiobooks is a Southern actor, and he had some flaws. But as far as, like, adding to, like, the Southern aspect, I really just felt really encaptured by the setting. And then not only is Henrietta the setting, but there's also some, like, mystical realism aspects to this area. And I just really felt, like, at home there, and I really loved the setting, and it made me feel, like, happy to be there, and I just really enjoyed it. Alright, so this has been a short but spoiler-free review of the Raven Cycle. So I would say that if you like YA fantasy / mystical realism, go for it. Like, it's good. I liked it. However, if you're more into, like, high fantasy, adult fantasy, I don't think you'd love this, to be honest. So, but if you like YA fantasy, give it a try. The characters are super likable. I just had some issues with it to where it wasn't, like, mind-blowing to me, but I also don't regret reading it. Alright, so this has been my spoiler-free review of The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. If you have any opinions you want to share with me, please do in the comments down below, whether you agree or disagree. And feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Bye.